Welcome to the Julie Laughton Living Podcast, the place to get advice, tips, and tricks to building the life and luxury home of your dreams with 30-year business owner, designer, and builder, Julie Laughton. It all starts with a good plan. This is Julie Laughton Living.
Welcome back to the podcast. It's Julie Laughton. Today we're going to talk about how to select your dream team. And before we do that, just don't forget to check out the 7 simple steps on my website. It's a wealth of information, and share it with your friends. Okay, the remodel process can be ridiculously overwhelming for clients. You know why? Because they don't know how it works, because they don't do this for a living. So the biggest favor a designer or an architect can do, which is the first person, is explain the process in detail. But this doesn't happen. And I think I'm the only one that explains the process. Oh my God, I swear, because when I'm working with a client now who has an architect, and they're wanting me to maybe bid the project and work with the architect. And the architect's like having the client hire the structural engineer, hire the soils engineer. And I'm like, why in the hell is this going on? He doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know anybody. And the architect didn't even give him names of people to hire. I'm like, what is this shit show? I'm not going to be involved with this. So the point is, I have a process, and I think other people do this, most of them, but I line up all the players day one, and I actually control the process because I provide a one-stop shop, because I do provide the architecture, because I am the architect and I am the interior designer and I am the contractor and I have all the 5 engineers. So all the client has to do is tell me their dreams and everything gets done. But when I see how everyone else works or other people work, I'm like, oh my God, the poor client. Why do they have to find people? Why do they have to pay people direct? Because that slows everything up. And it, they don't know our business. So the point is, it's ridiculously overwhelming. And so what happens when you do a remodel or build a home, you're going to work with probably 11 people. You got an architect, you got an interior designer, you have a custom kitchen designer, you have a landscape designer, architect, you have a contractor, then you might have a specialty AV guy. And then you have a structural engineer, a civil engineer, a soils engineer, a topo, survey guy. And then you got Title 24 engineer. So I think I'm up to 11, maybe 13. So good luck managing that if you work with the wrong people and no one helps you, because it's massively confusing. And I know this because every time I explain it to my clients, they have no clue what I just said. And if I ask them to repeat it back to me, or ask them, did you understand? They don't. And I have to repeat over and over, and they never get it because that's not their job. Their job is to enjoy the process. I mean, I treat my clients like they've just checked into the montage. What do you need? What do you want? Let's do this. All you have to do is tell me your dreams. I put it on paper, put it on the plans, and build it. It's stress-free, but I know the process is not the majority of the time. That's why I came up with the 7 simple steps to help guide people, but it kills me, the shit show that goes on out there and the nightmares, and they're all caused by the same reason. Nobody has a master plan. No one guides it. No one takes ownership of the entire process. They let people just run rampant, run wild, and leave the poor client managing stuff. Like, that's so stupid. I mean, anyway, I could go on and on. Seriously. That's why I wrote a book about this, which is still, in the process, because it's like kills me. This doesn't have to be difficult. It's supposed to be fun. You're building a dream house. You're building and creating something. It's supposed to be fun. So that's a hint of what I think about, how things are done. I like things done seamlessly, with everybody knowing what's going on in advance. No surprises. That's how it should be. So let's say you don't know someone like me, because I don't know very many people out there that do this. Okay, I don't know any. How's that? Okay, and maybe I know 2, but they don't have the same degrees and licenses as me. So when you have a project like a remodel or building your home, you have to hire all these people individually, because the architect's not going to help you hire the engineers. The contractor's not going to help you hire the architect or the engineers. And the decorator's on her own. So you got to find these people. And what the only way this works is seriously, do not hire individuals that don't know each other. It won't work. You got to talk to your architect. Hey, which contractor do you like? And then the contractor, which architect do you like? And then is there a decorator you like? Because if these people don't know each other and they've not worked together, it's not going to happen. It'll be a nightmare. So the way to hire is to find a referral to good people who have good reputations, and then they tell you about the good people with good reputations they work with. And do not hire strangers that are strangers to the other parts of the team. Don't just go pull out some person and shove them into the team, because it's not going to work. And because they all got to know and trust each other, because if they don't, one rogue person that doesn't know what they're doing, I mean, you're putting it's like driving a car without one wheel. It's not going to happen. So my advice is find good people that know good people. That's the only way to really do it. So when I meet a client, I ask them, what do you want? And tell me everything. Let's just tell me everything. What do you want to do to this house? Or what kind of house do you want to build? And then I ask them, what's your budget? Or how much do you think this will cost? And have you talked to anybody else about it? Do you have a clue? Do you have any idea? And then we get past what do they really want to do to this home? And then I tell them what I think it's going to cost. And then I ask them, have you ever worked with an architect or an interior designer or done a remodel before? Because I want to know what their past experience was. Not only that, but I want to know if they've ever done this before, because I want to know if they've ever experienced it. Because if they've never gone through this and it's their first remodel, that's a whole nother ballgame to get them through the process and explain how it works. And a lot more information is needed to be given to them, because if it's their first time, oh my God, that's a biggie. But if they've already been through a remodel, I always hear the nightmare horror stories of what they went through. Very rarely do I hear that it was a success and they were happy. There's a few, because they worked with good architects and good contractors, but not many. So I always ask those questions so I know what I'm dealing with and how much experience the client has in the process. So the big bonus of my team and working with me, who is a one-stop shop, like I said, nobody else really does this. I don't know anybody else that takes command and takes responsibility for the entire process. And that's the key. My process is designed to take the project through the entire process on the behalf of and to the benefit of the homeowner. We're not working against them. We're working with them as their agent, basically, to get this done. We're giving a concierge service. And the difference between me and everyone else that I know is that I actually take the responsibility of all aspects from conception to completion. It's just me. I'm running the entire project. Again, for the benefit of the client, to protect the client from the pitfalls and the problems, like steering them away from making bad decisions. And if I hire all the people and run the thing, then it's impossible for them to make a bad decision. And then we just work through their budget and what they want. So it's simple. But the other benefit of working with me is that I have a team that's been with me 10, 20, and 30 years. I have no employee turnover. 30 employees and 25 subs. Nobody quits. Nobody leaves. It's because we have a good, respectful working relationship. I treat everyone with respect, from everyone from the guy who cleans the floors to, my engineers. There's a whole circle of respect, and a team that provides 5-star service also has to be a healthy team. Everybody is respectful. Working very hard and moving at a fast pace requires a lot of communication skills and a lot of detail. And it's about respect and nobody blaming each other, pointing fingers. And again, the client has me as the only one taking on all the responsibility. I can't point my fingers at anybody because I'd have to point them back at myself. And that's called victimization and being a loser. So you take responsibility for your actions and you stand up and take it and do it and work. It's work to do this job. It's constant. It's like, I don't think people realize how much work it is to actually get a remodel done, especially and new construction. It's a fabulous seamless process, but it is a ton of work. So anyway, and it's got to be consistent. You can't drop the ball at any hour of the day. Thank you for joining me on this podcast of how to select your dream team. And don't forget to check out the 7 simple steps because it's very helpful. And I'll see you on the next one.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Julie Laughton Living. For more information or to connect with Julie one-on-one, visit julielaughtonliving.com. And don't forget, it all starts with a good plan.